It was the 1990s, a big show in a small town off I-75 in Georgia. They were called the biggest cocks in the henhouse. But things have changed since then. It's been 30 years, and they finally found a home here, like everyone else, doing a podcast. It's Erica and Mark, the phone call podcast thing.
Well, hello.
Hello, who's this?
You called me.
Right, I had a really long weekend, Mark.
This is a spam call. Oh, okay.
Yes.
I just wanted a spam call.
No, Mark, this is the mandatory phone call of friendship, as I have renamed it.
Yes.
It used to be called Erica and Mark the phone call, especially if you look at the listing under the podcast playground or Apple or Spotify or wherever you're listening to us from, all three of you. But no, this is now the mandatory phone call of friendship. I feel forced. I feel like you're making me do this.
Well, you know what I think we should do is tell our three listeners to use different ways of getting to us.
Oh, so you're telling me you want to spread it out among the platforms?
Yeah, so it looks like we're busy in all the platforms. So we can be last place on all of them.
All right. So, okay, I'm going to say it right now. Chris, I want you to listen on Apple. And my sister Melissa, I want you to listen on, where do I want her to listen? Not Spotify. What's the other one?
Apple, Spotify.
Apple, Spotify, and what's the other one?
What is the other one?
I don't know.
There's a bunch of them.
All right. Well, you can listen on Spotify, Melissa, and Kim in California. I don't know what to tell her to do. She's in California.
Tell her to listen to the Podcast Playground.
Go to the podcastplayground.com and listen there. That's good advice. So, Kim, I want you on the podcastplayground.com listening to this. And Chris, I want you on Spotify. No, I'm sorry. I want you on Apple. And Melissa, my sister, I want you on Spotify. So Missy Spotify, Chris Apple, Kim, the podcast. Is it podcast or the podcast playground?
I think it's the podcast playground.
Okay, that's where I want you to listen and search Erica and Mark the phone call until we have it changed, which now sounds like we should. What kind of news do you have for me this week, Mark? You want to get straight to the news?
Yeah, you know what? I saw what you shared with me a little earlier today.
Oh yes, Fort Myers drama.
Yeah, and it's usually had something to do with the Beasleys, but this time it's not the Beasleys.
No, it isn't. It's Wink TV.
But you know, when you were talking about that, I was thinking back, and now the more I think about it, there's been a lot of that. Do you remember Mud?
No.
The air personality Mud. He's in Nashville now.
No.
He's been with iHeart now since he got asked to leave Arrow when they used to have jocks, and he was a program director.
Oh, okay.
And he lost his job, and he was doing a really good job, honestly. I mean, he was trying to you can't compete with us, but he was doing well. Mm-hmm. He still had sellable numbers. Back then, he was up against Stern and Stan Haney and Joe Scott, and, you know, this just, I don't even want to say me, because I was just in the middle treading water while the big dogs were just killing it.
Right.
So, you know, but he got let go. If I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong, and if I am, I'm really sorry. But Drew, you know Drew.
Sure, I know Drew. Yeah.
Okay, Drew.
Drew, I thought was related to you. Drew Steele. Are you two not brothers?
No.
You're both conservative, Trump-loving radio broadcasters. You could be brothers.
And we both put E's at the end of our name. But no, that was. I think he might have. No, he was not a Steele before me.
He's probably almost as old as you, though.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. He's at the age where you start fixing yourself.
Even though I know he's a conservative, right-wing, Charlie Kirk defending guy, I still kind of like the guy. I got nothing bad to say about him, other than that.
He's a good guy.
He is. He's a good guy.
And
sometimes I wonder if his radio show is not theater.
He got jacked out of. He was the number one show on the top 40 station. Mm-hmm. And they asked him to leave.
Hi.
Because they wanted to bring in some, I forgot what the guy's name was, but it's one of those like a Bubba wannabe type people or Bubba people, with the and that came from
on a top four. Oh, for the Wild Bunch.
Yes,
that's right. I forgot about that.
So he came down here, and then he ended up going over there, and that's when he switched to talk radio,
right?
And he wanted to try it out, but he was really, really good. I was actually that was when I was fired. We're laid off. But I had 6 months severance.
You could say fired because that's what it was.
That's really what it's called. Yeah, I had my 6 months severance pay. I guess when you get a severance pay, you're not really laid off.
No.
But yeah, I got my 6 months severance pay, and I was just wanted to have something to do. So I was helping him. I pulled out my producer hat, and I was producing his show, and we did really well. I mean, we won with men and women 1834 and 1849, and that was with them having 99X.
Wow,
that might have been what made him mad. That might have been why he got fired.
Who?
They never liked anybody treading. They didn't like people treading on the other property's numbers.
Oh yeah, that does kind of make sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
And if you applaud a winner, if you're applauding someone from winning means you beat everybody else, including people in your own neighborhood.
Well, hold on. Who was doing mornings on 99? Was it Joe Scott or was it Zito and Garrett or who was there?
I think Zito and Garrett were there.
Okay, because before that it was Joe Scott until he decided to die while he was doing mornings there. That was probably before your time. That was when I was working at 99X.
Did he almost die at one time? Because I know he really.
Oh, he almost died a lot of times, but he actually died for real when they hired. So he makes his big comeback after getting fired from K-Rock all those years ago, to go be the the new big morning show at 99X, and that was right when I quit because I was like, oh, they're going to hire this guy. They're never going to hire me to do mornings here. So I went to Tampa and worked at Star 95.7, and yeah, sure enough, as soon as I get Zito his job there, and then Joe Scott keels over dead, and now Zito's doing mornings.
Wait a minute, no. Zito, Scott didn't die then.
Yeah, he did.
He
died when he was working at 99X.
No, he died when he was working for me.
What?
On K-Rock.
So they fired him at 99X, or they moved him back to K-Rock?
Yeah. Well, they fired him, and then he went to work for he was just gone for when I was working there, I got pulled into the office and got told, hey, I'm sure you've heard about Joe Scott before and this and that and everything like that. I'm just going to let you know, like as if I was, it was just like a courtesy call. It was like, we're hiring him.
Right.
For nights.
Dude, this is 25 years ago. My memory's a little hazy.
And he was working for Sears at the time. So I went to lunch with him and Brad and met him during his Sears job. Mm-hmm. And he came back and he crushed nights. At that time, Real Radio was on, and Drew Garabro was on Real Radio.
Yeah.
Right? Out of Orlando.
So, wait. So, he was going up against Drew Garabo? Or?
Oh, no. Wait a minute. No, he was going up against the Monsters. They were on at night.
Okay.
And he killed them. Because it was, Fort Myers and it was Joe Scott.
Dude, people loved Joe and Stan. Yeah, they loved him.
He had the same numbers as Stern did at night. He made people stop watching TV.
Wow. That's incredible.
I know. That's when you know you're...
In this day and age.
An incredible talent.
Yeah.
Just not very... But then he got in a car wreck. We were on our way down to Naples for a charity event that the Beasleys were behind. The mom and pop Beasleys.
Yeah.
It was a relay for life, and he got in a car wreck. And
I thought he overdosed.
He did. Unfortunately, when he got in a car wreck, he got prescribed.
Oh, that
pills.
old story.
And within about a year, he passed. His kids were on their way down from Green Bay, I think it was. That they were up in. I think they were up in Wisconsin with their mother, and they were sending him down for Thanksgiving, and he was all excited, and he looked like the old Joe Scott. He looked really bad. He was really heavy,
that's a
very
shame.
sickly, and he put decorations down on his yard for Christmas, and he's getting prepared for his kids to come down for Thanksgiving in about 2 days. Matter of fact, I think they might have been on a plane coming down, and he OD'd or died of a heart attack, or I don't want to say.
I could have swore he was on 99X when he died.
No, but he died. Yeah, he died then, and it was like after we had to let him go, and I had no, like I said, that when it came to people like Stan Haney and Joe Scott and other people that were beloved by them. I had no say so if they were getting hired or fired or anything.
No, those people are in the small club that you were never in.
Yeah, matter of fact, put it this way: in the budget that they would let you play with, but then take everything away from you.
Yeah.
Their salaries are never included in my budget.
Oh, really?
You were not allowed to even know what.
Dude, somebody made the mistake of showing me the budget when I was at YNF and what my morning guy was making. I was making, I think, 65 at that radio station to be the program director and do afternoons. And then I looked at our low-rated, nobody likes him, including in the building morning show. This pompous dude from California was so pompous that he had a condo on Longboat Key, rarely came off of Longboat Key because when he got off the air at 10 o'clock, he would go play tennis and then take a nap. And he was the guy that walked around in the 90s with his Izod collared shirt and had the collar popped. He had a white Mazda RX-7 convertible that the top was always down on. That was something that he brought from California, so he never got Florida license plates. This guy, he was not fun to listen to. He was very old-timey, fake call radio guy. Let's do some voices. And he wasn't super good at it. And the most baffling part about this guy, oh my God, his wife was beautiful and she was so nice. But she was one of those like, oh, he dragged you here from California. I am so sorry, dear. Oh my God, you must be miserable here. Because she was so nice and just like she was in the prime of her supermodel face. She was so pretty. But I looked at the budget for the following year and I saw how much he was making with his low ratings. What do you think they were paying somebody in market number 80 on a 50,000 watt rock station?
Solo show, probably about 50 grand.
Yeah, you would think about 50 grand. No, 130 grand. And he had bonuses.
He was never going to see that bonus.
Yeah, no, he was 130 was his base.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing 8 records an hour and being not funny in between those 8 records an hour. Oh, that's where I knew I messed up.
I was at a larger market. I got 60 at my peak, I had 65,000 a year plus bonuses on the station and my show on the Target demo. And then a super bonus for 54 persons.
This is this guy was making 130 in 1997 money. Stand by, stall while I calculate this. Let's go.
Okay.
I got to go to the inflation calculator. Here we go. Okay. So it is literally usinflationcalculator.com. So we can type in 1997. We can say if I purchased an item for $130,000, what would that be worth in 2025 money? That is $260,763.80 is what they were paying him. Cow. That's a 100%.
A $250,000.
The equivalent of a quarter of today's
money.
Of
a quarter million.
Of a quarter million, which it's pretty good.
For losing.
For sucking. Let's just say that. For sucking. You know what was even scarier is the 2 books I had there. My second book, I beat his morning show in the afternoon.
In the afternoons?
Yeah, because it was me fucking around with the traffic girl, Nikki.
And I remember you saying
I would torture Nikki. And Nikki loved it. Nikki would come in, she would bring her purse and like slap it down at the last second to do her sponsored traffic report. And while she was working, she couldn't stop giving her traffic report and reading the sponsor. So I'm digging through her purse. And I was looking for anything. I was looking for receipts, and if I couldn't find that, I would bring out her checkbook and I would start reading her checkbook. I was like, whoa. She's like, give me that back. No, you stay over there. Why did you write your mom a check for $37? That's a specific amount. What was that about? Are you? So I would make her explain to me these different checks that she wrote.
So it's forensic accounting.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, and she would get red as a beep, and she would. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to play another record until you answer me. And I would stand there with the music playing, not talking. I'm like, we have dead air, Nikki. It's on you. Oh, it was fun.
Well, somehow we ended up making this guy's firing about us. I don't know how we did that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were here to talk about a guy in Fort Myers who got fired yesterday or the day before.
So sorry about that. So it was. So he was a meteorologist at Wink, and he was there for how many years?
I don't know. Matt Devitt. Did you know him?
No, I did not know him.
Okay, I thought you knew him.
I've been gone for a long time. I've been gone from Fort Myers for 10 years, or 11 years.
Well,
now.
it says that he's been there for 10 years. He's the guy behind all the funny social media posts that you see.
I have seen him on there because I think a lot of people that I'm friends with, he's loved by them.
Oh man, he's the guy that got everybody through the hurricanes, through Irma and Ian, Helene and Milton. I mean, he was kind of the go-to guy down there, and he's also the guy who wrote all the funny social media stuff about the weather with, that would show up on other people's weather pages. I mean, he was he was apparently a good dude, and I guess he and his wife had another baby, and he'd been taking some lunches, and maybe he took a little bit too long of a lunch because he's home helping his wife with the baby and then coming back to work. And are they clock watchers over there at Wink? Because it looks like they might be clock watchers.
It may be, but I always thought about when kind of clock watching, and I've worked for people that were clock watchers.
Oh, me too.
If you're on salary and you're not giving me extra money when I'm putting in longer hours, and I don't expect you to be bothering me when I'm not.
Exactly. I mean, how long did this guy work during the hurricanes? Did they pay him extra in overtime for working during those hurricanes? Probably not, because that's part of his job. When your salary, if you're going to have somebody who's a salary employee, treat them like an adult. They know what their job is. Let them get their job done. How and when they get it done, really not that important unless it affects other people. This didn't seem to affect other people as far as what I can see.
Well, if he didn't miss his weather,
there's nothing about that anywhere that anybody's written about.
So, it's got to be something more than that. I mean, there's always something, and then there's the real reason. They had to have a reason.
Well,
so, is that the official reason on the press release? That's why they let him go.
That's. I don't think there's been any official reason about letting him go, but I think it's either him or people who work with him have been saying that on social media, and it's just kind of, maybe that's one of those things that kind of leaked out, maybe, but
it's a right to work state though. So I mean,
right. Well, he also has a contract, and in Florida, I guess you can still enforce a non-compete. I thought that was kind of going the way of the dinosaur, the non-competes.
I was hoping so, but I think, unfortunately, you know how they are down there.
I think Florida's different. Yeah, Florida's a little.
Many people in Fort Myers try to fight that, and they got it stuck to them. Especially a lot of iHeart workers back when it was Clear Channel, and it was, man, they would fight anybody on a non-compete.
So I guess one of the bigwigs who works at that station, his name is Jim Schwartzel. You got to know him. He's been down there for years.
Yeah.
So
I've interviewed
apparently he's a Republican congressional candidate now, and he had to go into the news press, into the newspaper, and say that he had nothing to do with the decision to let go of this meteorologist. And
so he was not the chief meteorologist in this divot, right?
No. I think he was here. WINK News chief meteorologist Matt Devitt.
He was. Chief.
So Schwartzel is saying he had nothing to do with it, even though some of his opponents are saying, "Well, you're the guy running the place." And
I don't know how the pecking order goes in television.
I don't either.
You may know this more than that, but I mean, if you're the chief meteorologist, you have to have, I guess the general manager would be your boss.
Well,
right?
TV's kind of funny because the news director really. There are many. So most news directors are crazy. Every news director that I've ever known at a TV station has been a little crazy, and they've all been a little power hungry, and not a goddamn one of them has ever respected the general manager. They look at themselves as equal to or above the general manager. Most news directors that I've known are of the opinion, oh yeah, the general manager, yeah, he handles the salespeople and all that other stuff. I'm the news director. I do the news. And then I tell him what I'm doing on the news, even though I technically work for him. It's always been a very gray area between news directors and station general managers or operations managers or whatever. But news directors are crazy, I think, is my point. So I don't know. I can't tell what happened based on who made the decision to get rid of him, if it was the general manager or the news director or who.
My voice guy is a former employee over there. He was replaced by AI.
Of course.
So, but I don't know if he knows. I imagine he would know whatever. But yeah, I saw that was making I saw a lot of people posting about it. I thought,
oh my God, dude, it's on the Daily Mail. It's on Yahoo News. It's a national story now.
I don't, they're not, they think they can bully somebody back to getting their job. They can't.
No, and I don't think that's what it looks like this guy's trying to do. He, here it says in this Yahoo News article, the decision was not one that I expected or agreed with, and I was not given the opportunity to say goodbye on the air. It was a complete shock to me and my family and my fellow coworkers. But
you know that one though, right?
Yeah, they just...
You know that one.
Yeah,
of
course.
When you're going to get fired, you get called in right before your shift.
Yep. Hey,
or right after your shift.
Right. Hey, there's the intern is putting all of your shit from your desk in a box, and they'll meet you they'll meet you in the lobby.
Yes. Yeah, they're always afraid. I've been lucky. Beasley let me say my farewells.
Yeah.
And last place I worked at let me say my farewell.
You and I got to go do a whole farewell week to welcome the new John Boy and Billy Big Show.
That's what it was. It was basically a big commercial for the new guys.
Oh, you know what though? We took the high road, and if I had it to do over again, I would not have done that if I had it to do over again.
I would. If I thinking now, it's like we should have done was just like. Well, no, because we didn't. I don't think we had any juice. I was going to say, give it the juice.
No, we didn't.
Have such an incredible show that it would be almost impossible to come by. But no, we just kind of.
I should have gone. I should have gone directly to Steven, the guy who owned the place, and said, Steven, you're making a lot of money off of our morning show, and you have a general manager who is to Podunk, Vidalia, Georgia, to understand that we can transfer those ratings and that revenue into the afternoons while growing the revenue from the new morning show. You're going to make double the money. I know it's going to cost you a little bit more, and I know you haven't budgeted for that, but just stick with it and the money will come. And I didn't. I mean, I said to our general manager, you need to put us on in the afternoons. Oh, no, we can't afford that. I didn't go to Steven basically with, holding a knife to his throat, which is what I should have done. And I think I was mad. How long were we fighting John Boy and Billy? It had to be over a year.
Oh yeah, because the minute he got there, he was trying to put that show
right,
on.
and then Randy, their producer, immediately flew down and came to town and took him to dinner, and then met with me and tried to convince me why it would be a good idea to put John Boy and Billy on in the mornings. And I said, my morning show's doing fine, buddy. Well, at some point we're going to have to go on the competition. Go ahead, go on the competition. We don't care.
Yeah, the Shack, good luck.
Yeah, all 3,000 watts of that station that no one listens to now. Yeah, that's going to be a real success for you. We know you want this station because we're the only one that has a giant signal.
I heard that they're done, right? John Boy and Billy. Now?
Yeah,
Are they done?
Yeah.
I heard they're retiring. Right?
I think they're gone. I think that they retired.
Oh, gone.
And I'm sure Robert D. Rayford must have died years ago. That guy was in his 70s. Back in the 90s.
Right. Yeah, I think he's been gone actually.
Yeah, I think he died. He must have died a long time. But I don't know. They tried John Boy and Billy on the Bone here in Tampa for a short while, and it went over like you would expect. It didn't last long at all.
It would have been good. That's a good show for like small market radio, where you're and in the South where people kind of get NASCAR and all that.
Right.
Stuff.
That is a good show for Dothan, Alabama, or Macon, Georgia, or Columbus, where they did fine in those small markets. But yeah, you can't bring them to a big city. They weren't even doing that well in Charlotte, where they were based.
Oh boy. The other show from Charlotte was the same way too. Bob and Sherry.
Yeah.
They were horrible in Charlotte too, but they were syndicated everywhere.
I know. We should have just sucked more, kind of like now.
Yes.
Who's the other syndicated show that was that I heard that wasn't? Oh, it was, what was it? Free beer and hot wings. Dude.
Oh, that one too.
What was that? So one guy's name was Free Beer and the other one's was Hot Wings.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I never understood.
And they try to put them everywhere, and they would not go. They would just not make it.
Yeah, I think that was a little after that. But that was after I got out of radio. I started reading about those guys. They were out of they were like Birmingham, Alabama, or something, weren't they?
Yeah.
God,
that's right up there with that Bubba, Rick and Bubba, or whatever it is. They didn't.
Oh, I forgot about
well
that.
Anywhere.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Bob and Tom were very smart and very funny, but back in the '90s, but they pale in comparison now.
Bob and Tom were the radio show that all the comedians had to do, and all the comedians hated them. They all still talk about it because there's no more Bob and Tom show now. One of them is retired. I'm not sure if the other one is still doing it, but now all the comedians, when I hear them on the air here in Tampa, if somebody brings up Bob and Tom, they all just go, "Oh God, that show." Yeah, you had to submit jokes to them like it was Johnny Carson on the Tonight Show, and they wanted to know, exactly the bits that you were going to do. It's not like coming in here where we just talk about, whatever. We talk about our girlfriends or stuff we ate on the road or dumb things. They want to hear all the bits that we're going to do. And that's not what we do as comedians. That's why we like coming to this show, because, you don't make us do bits. And that's what Bob and Tom was, though. Bob and Tom had to know what to react to, and
I think they wanted to do that so they could actually. I think they wanted to be able to one up them on the punchline. I bet.
Oh yeah.
Or try and then put the laugh track.
Yeah.
behind.
How do I make myself funny with this professional comedian in my studio?
Yes.
Yeah, and then he sends. Yeah, and then he has writers write stuff for him. Oh my God, he's big time in everybody. I bet.
Yes.
I wonder if that's not what it was. That's really funny.
Oh God, that's kind of funny.
God, I'm so glad
Let's take a quick break. Business. We've already gone to 30 minutes already.
Talking about what? What the hell did we talk about?
I don't remember.
Now you sound like me.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.
All right, we're back. I saw this post, and I was trying to figure out if it's true or not. That's why I'm bringing this to you.
What?
I thought this happened a long time ago, but I guess MTV apparently had some stations that were playing music videos like they originally started. Is that true?
I thought it was like MTV Rewind or MTV Classic. It was some other MTV channel.
Right. And I thought what I read was, because I heard that at the end of this year, which was last year.
Yeah.
And end of 2025, they're going to just hyper focus, only on reality shows and game shows, which I thought this is exactly what. Okay, so somebody came in and goes, remember when we had music and people liked it, and then we changed it to this other stuff, and people didn't like it? We're going to double down and do it again.
Excuse me.
And apparently, whoever owns it, which has something to do with Paramount Plus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Paramount Skydance owns MTV. That's they're the umbrella for MTV. So are they going to bring it back?
No, what I heard is somebody, as a fan, so it's I Googled and said, did somebody bootleg or pirate MTV and brought it back? And I said, no, not technically. It was a fan, and he. Let me see if I can find it here. He had? Let me see if I can find it here. I'm looking at. I'm not even looking at my phone. Aren't you proud of me?
I'm very proud of you. Wow.
Okay, here goes. A website created called MTV Rewind is streaming 27,000 classic MTV videos and vintage commercials with no ads or algorithms, which the void was left by MTV shutting down all its music-only channels globally. You can find it at wantmyMTV.xyz.
Oh, those guys are going to get sued so fast and be out of existence.
And it says here, the status of the site that appears to be a passion project by a fan, and its legal status as an authorized stream or bootleg has not been widely reported in immediate news, though the content itself is copyrighted material.
Right.
The news focused on the fan initiative rather than the potential legal actions from Paramount, MTV's parent company.
All right, so I just found a news item here on cordcuttersnews.com that says the headline is "Music is coming back to MTV as Paramount is hoping to save MTV by going back to its roots." So Paramount's chief executive is pushing forward with plans to revitalize MTV, according to this article. He wants to steer it back to where it was. They've had recent discussions with leading corporations and key players in the music sector that suggest strategic alliances, potentially involving financial investments in the brand, are on the table. And that could breathe new life into the MTV, which is, by the way, 45, 46 years old now, something like that. It was was it 80 or 81? I don't remember.
I believe it was 81.
I think you're right. I think it was 81, but that's still 45 years. So in 1981, if you go back 45 years from 81... That's, let's see, 81. So that's 1976. That's 1936. So in 1981, 45 years ago was 1936. Compared to here in 2026, when 45 years ago was 1981. To put things into perspective for you if you want to feel old.
Wow.
Feel older, I should say to you.
Well, I know that.
That's when you were born, right? 1936?
Yes, right. Oh, actually, 39. That's when my mom was born.
That's why you're religious. You went to high school with Jesus. Oh, it all makes so much sense now. Voted most likely to succeed.
I saw that so MTV probably saw this tribute channel.
Yeah.
Seeing the numbers that said, wait a minute, there's money to be made here.
Well, we own that. We should do that ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually worked briefly for the guy that killed MTV and also killed CMT and all the other music channels by adding stuff that wasn't music.
Who, Brian Phillips?
I think that was his name.
Yeah, he's from Sarasota.
Is he at Cumulus?
He was no. He was at MTV and VH1. He was a corporate guy.
Okay.
Different guy.
This guy was at Cumulus, but he was a big shot somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that was him.
And I thought it was him, and I go, oh my gosh, it's like, because I remember I was put it to you this way: I'm on a conference call, and it's what they're doing is they called it a SWAT, but basically what it was called was they were just going to listen to your station for a day, and then nitpick.
Okay.
Which is okay.
Sure.
Because you know that going in.
Yeah.
I know that going in.
I'm looking for somebody else's perspective. Absolutely. Totally necessary.
Yeah. And so you know what it is.
I hope no one ever does that to this show.
And I requested it.
Ooh.
And because I thought, you know what? What the heck? Another set of years can. And it's nitpicking, so I can take it or leave it. That's what they tell you and all that. And this guy's main gripe, and he could not let it go, was when he heard one of my sweepers. I had these like flashback sweepers.
Yeah.
That would say, remember when, my voice girl would say, remember when, and then they would be talking about something that you would have remembered from the 70s or 80s doing.
Vaguely.
And then it would say us two. That's why we're like the soundtrack type, those kind of things like that. So I had one where it was like, remember when you were crushed up against a fence at a front row of a Skinner show, and all of a sudden you feel this, and I forgot how she worded it. It was great. It's like, I think she said like these small tiny meat pies up against your back. Like breast, right?
See now, so you don't watch South Park, so you don't know what member berries are, do you?
Me, no.
That's how you handle that now. You rip off what South Park did. South Park did this whole thing where they were going for some like making fun of people who do exactly what you're talking about. And it was like bunches of grapes, only they were called member berries, and the camera would zoom in on them and one would say, remember when? Remember Star Wars? Oh, I remember Ewoks? Oh, I remember Ewoks. And that's what they did to make fun of exactly what you were doing. You should
Well,
Google
he wasn't
that.
complaining about that. You know what he was complaining about,
what?
Right? How sexist that comment was.
How is that sexist?
About talking about breastises at a rock concert in the 70s. Did he not see any of Woodstock?
That's just kind of,
Now, I know it's supposed to be nitpicking, but it's like, oh my gosh.
That's all that guy came up with was that? So he really didn't listen.
No, and I thought to myself, I said, somebody must have complained to him and said, hey, he's running this. Because we were turning a hard, no pun intended, left with our programming, and they were removing anything that sounded like it could be fun on rock radio.
Why would you?
Like all songs.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
All songs that had to do with drugs or alcohol or having sex. And I'm thinking, the whole
so you got rid of sex, drugs, and rock and roll out of your rock and roll.
Yes.
Well, how is that a good idea?
And it was funny because it was like, and I said, and this is you can clearly see I never learned my lesson from the first time I said things to people that I shouldn't. I said, well, the word rock and roll, just the word itself.
Which station was this?
This was when I was working in Lake Charles.
Okay, so this isn't Fort Myers. All right.
No, and I said the whole term in itself, that entire meaning in today's standard, if you were going to judge something from back then, today, back then, normal. Today, you're making it not normal. So I said, so that rock and roll was a slang word that was used by the African Americans for sex.
Right.
That's why we were really rocking and rolling to the break of dawn. They weren't talking about a jam session, or at least not the kind of jam session we would think about today. And they were looking at me like, I said, so actually we need to remove the word rock and roll out then too.
Well, in all fairness to them, you did ask for all of that. So
yeah, but I mean, it's like that was his contribution to the whole thing. And I thought, my gosh, everybody else was like, they had some really weird stuff. Like they wanted me to, we had our website was thecallletters.com.
Yeah.
And the call letters were, how sometimes call letters are bigger than the actual station?
Yeah.
Or your slogan. That's what this was.
Okay.
Everybody knew it, and that was the end of it. So, and it was simple to say and simple to remember. They wanted me to change it to, Lake Charles Best Rock. No, Lake Charles Home. Lake Charles Best. What does this say? Lake Charles Best Rock.
Oh, it's written on your shirt, and you forgot.
Yeah. Lake Charles Best Rock.
Mark literally had to read his shirt that he's wearing to remember that.
www.lakecharlesbestrock.com. Boy, talking about using your voice person.
Do you remember the call letters at all?
Yes, that I remember completely.
Okay.
It was KKGB.
Okay. All right. So
it's not there, and they don't use that now. It's kkgb.com. All that went away, but it was like, but they had like really nitpicking stuff. But that was the one that blew me away. It's like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what rock and roll is all about.
Yeah. I'm not sure if these guys know how things work in the rock industry, but
because even the new kids that have come up that are finding out about Pink Floyd and all this stuff now because they don't know anything about it, they don't have a problem with it.
Dude, one of my favorite things to do, I watch this channel on YouTube where the guy is a Gen Z music producer and he's listening to music from the 70s. I know I've told you about him. And he's fun to watch because he's literally discovering this stuff for the first time in his life. And it just freaks me out that he's never listened to Rubber Soul or, Sgt. Pepper or the Eagles. And he hasn't, or Pink Floyd. When he listened to Dark Side of the Moon, his mouth was hanging open. I mean, he was like, so you guys just had this music around, huh? And we're like, yeah, it was just kind of normal for us. Yeah. It wasn't.
Yeah, that's just called a Tuesday with the album.
Yeah. And he's like, do you guys realize how good you had? I'm like, we probably didn't at the time, but we certainly do now. Yeah.
Yes, we do. Once it's showed to you, that you're like, oh, okay. I get it.
Once things came into a little more perspective for us. When I think for me, it started when radio started beeping out songs like you can't say the F word and Who Are You anymore, even though you can't hear it. How many times did you play Who the Fuck Are You on the radio? How many times? You don't even know because there's thousands of times. Did any one person ever complain about that as long as you worked in rock radio?
No.
Same. I've probably played that song 5,000 times. Never had one complaint. The only now here's one that we used to get. It was "Blinded by the Light," the Man for Man, Earth's Man version.
Oh yeah.
Now what are they saying, man? Are they saying "wrecked up like a douche," man? What are they saying? Yeah. That's about the only time that people would call and ask about the lyrics of a song, which that was a legitimate question because I didn't know either.
It was. The only time I ever got complained about rock music was back in the 90s when the rock bands were trying to keep up with the grunge bands. So the heavy metal, the rock, the hair bands.
Yeah.
So they were putting out ballads, and then the ballads were being played by the top 40 stations.
Right. So yes. The top 40 stations got to have they got to have an edited, censored version. Yeah.
And what happened was they would come and get these CDs, because perfect example was when we gave away the Extreme CD because of More Than Words.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And Wholehearted, right?
Yep.
Which played top 40. And the album cover, the album name is actually Pornograffiti.
That was the name of the album, yes, Pornograffiti.
Yes.
It's the album cover was a little bit like the original Spinal Tap album for Smell the Glove. It was a little sexist.
So when the moms got in the car and put the CD in, and they were yelled at because it was heavy metal or rock and roll, and they were like, "Hey, I didn't sign up for this," and that was it. You didn't tell us it's explicit lyrics. I said, "Well,
we
not everything
here
is
in
more
rock
than words.
Radio, we don't really think about that stuff because
it's just music."
It's just a song. We don't sensationalize it because to us it's just part of the art. It's part of the song, and it's not something that we're like, "Who he said the F word and who are you?" Who? We never thought that.
And he didn't. Roger Daltrey didn't do it every time he said, "Who are you?"
No,
it was that one.
No, he just kind of
towards the end.
He kind of ad-libbed it in the studio. Is what it sounded like to me.
Yeah. So it's like it's not even like these words of the songs. They're not even like put out like to be intentionally. It's just part of the lyrics. So it's kind of silly. But it was like, it was the only time I ever had complaints about any rock song that I've ever played.
Yeah, we weren't.
Period.
It's so mind blowing to think about now that those songs eventually got censored. I mean, it's crazy for me to think about that now that actually happened. That happened after I got out of radio, thank God. Because I would have been that one contrarian that would have said, "Oh, really? That's what you want me to do? All right." And then I just wouldn't do it until I got in trouble.
Well, we had a list of songs to dump and get rid of.
What else?
Oh, there was a bunch of them. Brown. I wish I could remember.
Oh, you can't play Brown Sugar because of the content, because that's about having sex with black girls.
Yeah, and then they said that, so that had to go, and then what was some of the other ones? I can't remember all off the top of my head, but there was a list of them, and most of them I just kind of ignored. It's got to be online because that's got to be pretty famous. It might even be on that Instagram page that you sent from way back.
Hang on, I'm gonna look up some of the classic rock songs that got censored. Oh, this is all from the 60s, though. That got censored in the 2000s. Because that's when this happened. This all happened after, let's see. Oh, that's different. So, yeah, you can't play Van Halen's Jump after 9/11. I mean, okay, there was that Sheryl Crow song. That had a bad word and I can't think of the name of. Did Stairway to Heaven get censored? No?
Oh, I don't. No, I never had that done. I would have known that one.
Oh, you know what did get kicked off the radio? One of the biggest hits of the 90s was the Alanis Morissette song where she's talking about, will he go down on you in a theater? Can't play that anymore.
Yeah. You ought to know.
And I would also think that pretty much every Aerosmith song you wouldn't ever be able to play again. Because that's all those guys sang. Aerosmith and Kiss did nothing but sing about banging girls and having girls do stuff to them. That's literally all they did. I mean, every song. What else here? Yeah, I'm trying to think besides there are plenty of songs that had swear words in them, but I just can't think of them because it's not something that I ever sensationalized in my head.
I never really paid attention to it. Yeah, Money, they wanted.
Oh yeah, don't give me any of that do goody good bullshit. They probably censored that, don't they?
Yeah, because it just says bull. Yeah, it's just leave it alone.
It's crazy to me to think.
I get if it's over and
now.
Over again. There's a flagrant use, and then there's it's out of control usage.
Yeah, and then there's fleeting expletives, which I think is what Who Are You is, and what Pink Floyd Money is.
Yeah,
those are. Yeah, I mean that song or that bullshit is used in context. You should be able to sing that in a song. They didn't put that there to sensationalize it or to be. No. And
that was the rule by the FCC was if it couldn't be sensational.
Right. And that's why nobody ever said a word. There was Pearl Jam had Jeremy. Clearly, I remember picking on the boy.
Oh, yeah.
Seemed a harmless little fuck. They didn't censor that.
No.
Because, again, why would you?
I forgot about that. Yeah, there's a lot of songs out there.
There's a ton of them.
But people didn't bother with it, but we did have a list of some things that they were saying just no longer now. It was right around you're right, because the Me Too movement alone should have got rid of every Aerosmith and Kiss song ever.
Let's see, what else here? I mean, okay, so Papa Roach, Last Resort, probably couldn't. Now, that song did get edited when it first came out.
Yeah, I don't give a blank because of that.
Don't give a fuck at the color you're wearing. Yeah, that was maybe a little too in your face. Here's another one. ZZ Top, Legs. Do you remember that? Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, I gotta have her.
Oh, there's, ZZ Top is a pervert, man.
I mean,
if you listen to some of the ones that are on, like Pearl Necklace.
Those are three guys from Texas, and that was the 70s.
Tube Snake Boogie.
Yeah, you know what? ZZ Top is probably number 2 for singing about banging next to Kiss and Aerosmith, who were tied for number 1.
Yeah, they're right up there.
But Kiss, man, Kiss was every song. Christine, 16. Come on. I know. Plaster Caster.
That's what they got in there for.
Yeah.
That's what they got in the business for. They'll tell you that. They make money and they get girls.
Here we go. Here's an article from 2015. Here are the 13 classic rock songs that are allowed to swear on the radio that aren't anymore. So Who Are You? Let's see. Money by Pink Floyd. We talked about that. Big Jet Airliner by the Steve Miller Band.
Yeah.
I don't want to get caught in no funky shit going down in the city. Big old jet. And ZZ Top, Legs. Should have got to have her. Working Class Hero by John Lennon, which I don't think I've ever played on the radio, so I don't think that counts. What else here? Precious by the Pretenders. Did we ever play that song? No, that's my favorite Pretender song, but we never, there's a line in there, but because I was shitting bricks because I'm precious. And then halfway through the song, she says, "Not me, baby. I'm too precious. Fuck off." And she just says it, kind of fleeting as the guitar is playing, but I don't remember playing that ever, which was a mistake. Warren Zevon, Lawyers, Guns, and Money. We never played that on the radio, did we? No. That's another one. What's the Frequency, Kenneth? We did play that.
Oh, yeah. Played that one, yeah.
And I did not even know that there was a swear word in there. It's during the song's final fade out of What's the Frequency, Kenneth, Michael Stipe sings "Don't Fuck With Me." And it's almost impossible to distinguish unless you're really listening for it. Kind of like the Doors singing "Stronger Than Dirt" at the end of "Touch Me." It was that subtle. Now, we did play this one. Here's one you forgot about. John, Don't Say Cougar Mellencamp. Which song?
Play guitar?
Play guitar. Forget all about that macho shit and learn how to play guitar. We played that a lot. Showbiz Kids by Steely Dan. There's another one. Show business kids making movies of themselves. They don't give a fuck about anybody else. That's one. I don't think we played We Can Be Together by Jefferson Airplane ever. Hey Jude, there's apparently, as the song builds from the opening melody and the na-na-na part, John Lennon says, "Oh, fucking hell." I don't remember that.
No.
I don't remember that at all. And the Kingsmen, Louie Louie, nobody knows what that song is about. The FBI actually investigated that song because
that was the
yeah, because I think the drum, it says here the drummer dropped one of his sticks and he blurted out the F word, and so that made them investigate the entire band for that one song. But yeah,
that was Hoover's FBI, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
He was fun.
But I forgot about some of those. Jeez. Forgot about the I like that John Mellencamp song, Said No One Ever, but I actually do like that Play Guitar song. That was a good song.
No, it was good.
We should have studied this more, like Eminem, My Name Is. Well, we didn't play that. Did anybody play Eminem on the radio back then, even urban stations?
I don't know. I think he was like a video person.
Now, when I was working at 96 Rock in Atlanta, we were playing the Bloodhound Gang at night. Do you remember that song?
Really?
Where they remade the roof. But I can't remember how they censored it, because the line is, "We don't need no water," or we don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn motherfucker.
Oh yeah, we played that crazy at the nightclubs.
Right, yeah.
That was a rap song.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember hearing that too in clubs back then, but I don't remember what we did for the radio. Did they just bleep it, or was it just the audio was dropped out? Because I played that on the radio a bunch of times on 96 Rock.
No, I never played it on the radio.
I did. I
bet you probably played it. I bet you 99X probably played it, but I don't know.
Maybe that's where I played. No, I know it was 96 Rock in Atlanta. Here's another one, Closer by Nine Inch Nails. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where Trent said, "I want to fuck you like an animal." I don't think they censored that on 99X.
No, probably not.
Everlast had What It's Like. That was a pretty huge hit back in the late 90s, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He said a bad word in there also. Something about Chrome 45 and smoking weed, and yeah, there's a whole lot of songs like that. This is just what I'm finding on Reddit now. I got to stay off of Reddit. Reddit has completely ruined Instagram and Facebook for me. I haven't used Instagram or Facebook for probably a year and a half now because of Reddit. I love Reddit.
I get popped over there Reddit every once in a while when I'm asking a question about something that they're usually pretty interesting.
Here's another one that only you remember: The Babies' Midnight Rendezvous. Do you remember that?
I do remember that song, but that had a bad word in it.
That's what does it say here? There's an F-bomb at the very end here is what one of the comments says.
Oh.
I have to go listen to that. Kate Bush had a song. Green Day had a couple of songs too, didn't they?
Yeah. That one, what do you call it? What had a bad word in it? The first one, Longview. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. I'm trying to remember which one. Chili Peppers had to have some bad words.
Oh yeah.
Man. Oh, here's another one we forgot about that we never bleeped out that we actually did play, but only on Two for Tuesday. It's an AC/DC song. Can you name that song? It's the S word. Think hard. It's Bon Scott. So it's old AC/DC.
The Jack?
Nope. Close. Very close. I'm just going to tell you in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to give you the line. You tell me the song. And all the other shit that they teach the kids in school. Gonna be a rock and roll singer. Gonna be a rock and roll star. We played that.
I know. I forgot about that song.
Yeah.
Yes.
That might have been one of those 7 to Midnight songs that we played, but we totally played that song. That was the other thing. There were a lot of songs that we day parted back in those days where you wouldn't play.
You want to be offensive in the office,
right? We wanted to play Jackal the Lumberjack, but we couldn't play that until 7:00 at night, or after 5 in the afternoon when it was really hot. But Jackal just played here, and I didn't go see them, and I feel bad now. Oh, here's another huge song. Dire Straits had probably their biggest song. Think about it. Money for nothing.
I was going to say, money for nothing had a curse word in it?
They said, a little faggot with the earring and the makeup.
Oh,
yeah, buddy,
that's
right. His own hair. You thought they were talking about you, didn't they?
Yeah.
Nazareth, hair of the dog. The whole freaking chorus says "son of a bitch."
Oh, yeah. Now you're messing with
Everybody thought that song was called "Son of a Bitch."
Yeah, I was like, now you're messing with an SOB. That's what I thought it was. Hair of the dog. What is that?
Right. Yeah. Oh God, there's so we could do a whole show on this. There's so many. Let's just stop there. I could keep going and go. Thank you, Reddit, for saving my ass there. And now we've gone another half hour again, haven't we?
Let's take a quick break. Yeah, almost. It's almost 55 past. So let's take a quick break and come back and wrap things up with another from the Not So Famous show.
All right, that's good because I got to go pick the dog up from getting her haircut.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.
So last week we were talking about the Not Famous show, which I thought was a great name for us, but apparently somebody else is using it.
Somebody less famous than us thought of it first. Yeah. I did not listen though.
No?
No.
It was they're actually not that bad, honestly. But they do some really good survey stuff. I don't know where he gets his information from, but this was the top 5 male names that are most annoying. So if you have this name, you're most likely annoying.
Oh, I can tell you one right now, and he was my morning show partner before you. It's Todd.
No, Todd's not on the top.
It 5. Should be number 1 for me.
But there is a T.
Trevor.
No, somebody that we work with on the morning show. He just wasn't an official member.
Tim?
No.
Tim. Who wasn't it? Oh, Tom.
Yeah, Thomas. Yeah, number 4.
That's a Bible name. Everybody's name. Everybody who's been to Sunday school seems to name their kid Thomas, David, or Matthew, or something.
But if they ever think about it, Thomas would not be the. That's what like. That's not a really good name.
I mean, no. I guess not. Doubting Thomas.
Yeah. All right, coming in at number 5 is Daniel.
Daniel is a Pussy Elton John song. That's the only correlation I have with that.
Yes. Now, my dad's name is number 3. I didn't find him too annoying, but my mom did.
What's that?
Robert.
Robert? Well, that's your middle name.
Yes.
Well, that just makes you annoying in the middle then, I guess.
Yeah, partially annoying. Number 2 is Michael.
Okay, that's a real reach.
I know some Michaels, but none of those are annoying to me.
Oh, I know a lot of annoying Michaels. I used to work with one of them that we actually changed his name.
The number 1 is, I actually have a really good friend. His name was Glenn, and I guess his middle name was Michael. Now he goes by G. Michael.
Why? Because LL Cool J was taken? Is that why?
It's either that or he must be wanted for something.
Oh, my God.
Because he did move out of the country, too. So I don't know.
Oh, he's definitely wanted for something.
Number 1. What do you think number 1 is? It's a very, very common.
It's Glenn.
No. Much more common than Glenn.
What does it start with?
Like everyone has this somewhere in your family and not that far out. You've got either a middle name or a first name with this.
I have no idea.
Because of a J.
I have no J. John.
Yes.
Well, of course. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. You got to get them all in there.
I don't think, but I know Johns, and I don't know a John that's that annoying.
I mean, I
know somebody to get along with.
I mean, I know this guy John who was a Baptist one time, but yeah,
he wasn't annoying.
Yeah, it seemed like kind of a scam at the time. Just come on, admit it. He was like, "Hey, come on down to the river here. Well, here's what I'm going to do for you." How much did that cost? What was he charging for that? They don't talk about that. They even removed that. How much he was making.
I was trying to find
now, hold on. Is this John with an H or John without an H? Because I work with a guy named John, but no H. And I would never tell him this to his face, but I actually like John.
Yeah, no, this is John with an H.
Okay, so John is that guy where it's like if anybody talks shit about John, I'll say, hey, you can't say that about John. Only I can say that about John. He's like one of those. You can't call John the R word. Only I can call John the R word. But preferably to his face.
We already did a top 5 female that are annoying names, right?
Yeah, and somehow I was not on it. Huh.
Yeah, I know we did, because number 5 was Karen. It was funny because it should have been, figured to be number 1, but it wasn't. Mary was, which is really weird because Mary is...
and those are my 2 cousins, Karen and Mary, I swear to God.
Are they both annoying?
No, they're great. I just spent the weekend with Karen over in Vero Beach. She's one of my favorite people in the world.
Oh, you did have your little trip.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering if you're going to get a chance to do that.
No, she came down with her son, and we had a...
was it fun?
We had a great time. We took a little sunset cruise and learned about the lagoon over there in wherever the hell we were in Sebastian, the Sebastian Inlet.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous.
Did you see the surfers?
Any
surfers?
There were no surfers. The water was very Gulf of Mexico-like because there was hardly any wind.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Sebastian was a big surfing area.
No waves in Vero Beach. No.
Because Florida is not really known for its surf anyway, but for whatever reason, the way that shape was and the way the current is, they get decent waves.
From like Sebastian,
but not California.
What
not
is it?
California good.
Sebastian up to New Smyrna, which is coincidentally where all the sharks are, is where the best surfing in Florida is. And if you ever hear about a shark attack in Florida, 99% chance New Smyrna Beach.
Yes, and a really good chance they had a paddle board or something,
or somebody out there surfing. Yeah. Because that's the only place that there are waves, and that's why there are so many quote sharks. Because have you ever been parasailing?
No,
I have. And when you go parasailing, you'll probably never go swimming in the water again, because you would be shocked at how many sharks are swimming just offshore of very popular beaches.
Oh, I went down it. That's what I was afraid about parasailing, is that what goes up must come down.
Yeah, I mean, every time I've been parasailing, I've been fine. I haven't died or had a close call yet. The worst that's happened, I went parasailing in the winter when the water was cool, and they dunk you in the water, and then they laugh their asses off on the boat. It's the worst thing that happens. And you come back, it's like, well, now I'm wet, and I'm cold.
I remember during spring break, one of those parasail boats were going, and something happened, and the kite got off the main string.
That happens here too. Yeah, because they're very poorly regulated.
And flew into one of those tall hotel buildings.
Yeah. Or worse, you fall straight down and you splash in the water and break both of your legs. That's
what they were saying. Yeah. That the regulation, there's like no regulation. I would figure they would have regulation for those things.
Well, we don't need motorcycle helmets here either. So there is that.
Yeah, I know. That's insane. Mm-hmm. You know a story behind that, right? One of the people that were heavily behind that was Alabama.
The guy who was fighting for it. That's how he died, isn't it?
Yeah,
smacked his head on a curb on his bike
coming home from Daytona.
Yeah. He wasn't speeding or doing anything. He was like riding through a neighborhood and just something happened and he banged his head literally off of the curb.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess because I was raised that you just do that, but. Because I got on my first bike when I was like 15, 16, and I've always worn a helmet. And my son was like, he thought I was just making stuff up in case he got a bike.
Yeah.
And then when we got up to Louisiana, I had to take the bike off the back of the U-Haul trailer, right? And I go, I can't do it yet. I got to go in that thing and get my helmet. And I go, what? You're just backing it up? Yeah. I said, yeah, but what happens when I'm backing it up if I lose balance and I fall over? I said, that 750-pound bike is going to throw me down.
Yep.
And I'm going to hit my head.
Yep.
So I may break my arm or even maybe hurt my leg by the bike landing on it. But my head, I might have a headache, but I shouldn't be dead.
I'm not going to be a vegetable from breaking my arm.
Yeah. And I put the helmet on. He goes, I couldn't. You really do put your helmet on. I said, yeah. If I'm moving that bike, I'm putting a helmet on.
I was explaining to my daughter that, that when I used to ride motorcycles, that I always wore a helmet. There was no time that I was out on my bike, maybe riding around the yard if I was doing something to it. Just
right.
Then I wouldn't wear a helmet. I was just putzing around the yard for a second. But if I was going anywhere, I never went without my helmet, which saved my life when I wrecked my motorcycle. But with the bicycles, we did so many sketchy things on bicycles when we were kids, and bicycle helmets were not a thing when we were kids. They had not been invented yet, or if they were, they didn't trickle down to us.
No,
that was not an option.
No, even skateboarding. When I was a kid, we go to skate park.
I had a skateboard. I didn't have anything. Nothing.
What do you call it on here either?
I had no elbow pads, no knee pads, nothing. No, nothing.
Oh, you've been to that skateboard park. Remember that park in Fort Lauderdale?
Sure.
It was nice.
No, I used to ride a skateboard when I was a little bit younger, back in my motorcycle days. But I thought, I was like, this feels a little too dangerous. I'm probably not going to be good at this. I'm just going to not do this. I could do it.
I got out of it. I fell.
Oh, I did too. I mean, I could do it, but I would fall, and I understood the balance and the squatting down, and I was okay at it. And if I would have practiced, I would have probably been better at it. But it was one of those things where even I was saying, "Oh, this is not going to end well for me. I'm just not going to do this."
My dad hated skateboards after a while because being in the pool business and building pools.
Oh my God!
When the pool would be emptied down a little bit because you were building it or because you were getting it fixed, the kids would be in that back of that house doing skateboard tricks. He hated skateboard. That was the end of skateboarding. That's how I quit.
See, I actually quit because of a good decision, of one of my rare good teenage decisions. You.
Yeah. They don't count. Yeah, they don't happen too often. Rare teenage decisions.
No, that's probably the only good decision I made when I was a teenager, deciding to not pursue this skateboard thing any further, because even I was like, this seems really dangerous. I'm going to get back on my motorcycle.
All right, go to work.
Yeah, man, I got to go pick up the dog, who should be all freshly haircutted, and that'll relieve me of another $100. So awesome. And I will talk to you.
Yeah, they're expensive little buggers.
Yeah, they are. I will talk to you next week.
All righty.
All right, man.
Bye.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.